Welcome back to Total Party Kill.
Recording.
It's me, Tony Sindelar, a dungeon master. I use he, him, his pronouns. Today we are continuing our very not so safe for work adventures. The Grubit's Detective Agency, based on the published Dragon Friends adventure. Just a reminder, this adventure is not safe for work, not safe for kids, depending on who your kids are and where you work. This is a great time for you to pause right now. If you are driving, just turn that wheel left or right really hard, because things are going to get bad, and you're going to hear Steve Lutz say words like, Steve?
Pew pew. That's what's on the map. These are all dirty words, right?
Or Tiff Arment say words like
butt hair.
I have regrets. And yet this is my own fault. All right. Let me introduce our players. And
this is going great.
Technically 2 words.
And they will choose their characters, and I will remind them of what we are theoretically doing in this adventure. First up, the one and the only, the Annette Weirstraw. Hi, Annette.
Hello, Tony. I am a she, her, and I'm playing Kakara, which is a Raven-esque Aarakocra.
Excellent.
I think I'm a ranger. It's been a while.
I love it. Micah Sargent is also here. Hi, Micah.
Hello, Micah Sargent, he, him, and I play Glupo, he, him, the forest gnome bard.
From a faraway land known for their swearing, it is James Thompson.
He, him. I am playing Cami Cadence, who is a high elf from high society, an eminent pyromaniac.
From a near-away land known for their swearing, it's Tiff Arment.
Hi, she, her, playing Aquafina Thirstrap, the Genasi fighter, who is enjoying her times in the captain's hindquarters.
And honestly, we couldn't do this adventure without him. He's the most upsetting presence in the incomparable extended universe. It's Steve Lutz.
That is a great introduction, entirely accurate. I am playing Frank. He is a turtle barbarian, and you do not want to make him mad.
It's true. What has been happening in our adventure? Well, our compatriots here are all members in good standing of the Waterdeep Guild of Thieves, Beggars, and Tricksters. They are searching for their missing leader, one Janos Mir, the Beggar King, who seems to have possibly been abducted while investigating some kind of conspiracy involving the Artificers Guild within the city of Waterdeep. Their investigations have brought them to a large ship in dry dock on the docks. No, we've discussed this. It's a ship. The Fury of Holtzman, owned by one Alexei Lexi Holtzman. The Lexi, that's like a nickname, not a middle name. That would be a confusing name, total. Who they suspect may be responsible for Janos Mir's disappearance. The team has split up, always a wise decision in Dungeons and Dragons. 4 of our members, Aquafina, Frank, Cami, and Kakara, have found their way to the captain's quarters, while Glupo has made his way down below decks and has, correct me if I'm mistaken, you have kind of found yourself, you've worked your way into a group of orphans who are basically conscripted labor here on the ship. The ship is in dry dock. I'm going to remind you about that multiple times because people keep thinking there's water. I want to really emphasize the dryness of the dry dock.
Oh, I want dry wood.
Yes.
And orphans.
So the Fury of Holtzman, it is, I think, probably getting into early evening at this point, but it's this big giant ship undergoing all kinds of repairs and refurbishments. There's lots of sailors and tradespeople coming and going. You have made your way onto the ship without being detected so far, so that is probably really one of the few things you have done correctly in this adventure. I'll just take this moment to share with you as a reminder. This is essentially a detective mystery adventure, an adventure in which our adventurers have very rarely investigated things, asked questions, or talked to people, and I've inserted a series of increasingly ridiculous bird characters in order to keep them on track. What bird characters will we meet in today's session, to be determined. But I've made a list of birds that you can find on a boat ahead of time because that's the kind of dungeon master I am.
Let's never talk to a bird again.
Yes.
I don't trust birds.
I deserve that. Let us see. Glupo, should we start with you? How are things?
Sure. So I just made my way into a group of orphans, and I think
you got a free meal.
What is the proper term for a group of orphans?
A sadness,
an abandonment of orphans.
Sadness sounds right.
I thought it was a murder, like with crows.
We'll get there.
No,
We'll get there.
I don't. I think crows are real protective of that one. Yeah. A crime alley of orphans.
Please, sir, of orphans.
Yeah. A gruel of orphans.
A gruel, that's a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
The hearty gruel of orphans.
And you've enjoyed at least half a bowl of gruel that they've served you, Glupo. You are Glupo. You should remind you are a forest gnome.
Mm-hmm.
And no, apparently they don't do a lot of like ID checks here among the, let's just call them slave labor here on the Holtzman, since you really did not go through any kind of vetting. Basically, you did not pass as a carpenter and were redirected immediately based on, I think, just really height into the orphan
and also
crew.
saying, "Oh, I sure do miss my parents."
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Our parent.
So I guess Glupo is just gonna have a little look around where the orphans are, just kind of listening in. It's not so much a perception check of glancing around as it is just give an old listen to what the orphans are talking about.
Yeah, give me a quick perception check.
I can do that. Perhaps. Where is? Sorry, I'm using the.
And I'll remind you, Glupo, on your way being escorted from the work area to the food area. Wow, you managed to roll a 0, which is 1, and then your modifier of -1.
Wait, is there a 0 on the dice?
No, well, he rolled a 1, and then his modifier is -1.
He's basically gone blind.
Glupo, I will just remind you that
I told you that would happen eventually.
From the work
should have stopped while you were ahead.
To the orphan area, you did observe what seemed to be perhaps the brig of the Fury of Holtzman. So you are, it's really hard to figure out anything in the din of the orphans. There, let's just be, these orphans, real whiny. A lot of complaints about work conditions, the hours, the quality of the food, the lack of parents. It's really hard
trying
to
get form a union,
and it's all kind of overlapping, and it's hard to get. It's hard to get any specifics.
Old Glupo is going to use his high charisma to just have a conversation with some of them. So Glupo starts by saying, "Oh, I sure do miss my parents."
He's like the worst undercover cop.
Yeah,
but it worked once. Why shouldn't he go back to that well?
I'm itching for a drug here. So man, I was trying to do a little bit of work leading up to Eton, and the conditions here are pretty harsh. How much do we get paid here, fella?
So Micah, we'll say that you're next to just a very feeble looking elven boy. Do you want to give me a name, or should I provide the name for this orphan?
The elven boy is named
Elven boy.
is named Gunther.
Kelvin the elven boy.
Gunther.
I asked Micah.
Gunther.
I'm throwing out ideas. It's a group.
There are no bad ideas.
I literally asked Micah, jerks.
For the record,
this is a game of imagination that we play together, Tony Sindelar. Yeah. It's not just you and Micah having a conversation.
You can split the party, but you can't split our hearts.
You can.
Well,
actually,
like later,
it's actually quite easy.
So Gunther kind of looks up at you from his empty gruel bowl. I mean, I assume, Glupo, you're probably slightly larger than an orphan, even though you're a gnome.
We do use that measurement scale back where I'm from.
Slightly larger than an orphan.
Yeah, so, sort of two orphans.
Gunther looks at you. Gunther is a very small boy. He has giant elf ears and giant orphan eyes. And they just always look a little glistening, like he's just one bad mistake away from being fully in tears. And he just looks at you and says, My hands hurt.
Oh dear.
No, I think we get paid in shelter and gruel.
Oh, so you want to be here, right? Like that's a thing that you're wanting to do is hang out here and work and
I like shelter and I'm okay on gruel.
So where'd you come from before where you didn't have shelter?
Well, I was in one of the tenement houses that burned down.
Right. So someone offered
no
to bring you here, or did they sort of was it more of an offer or sort of a you're coming with us now kind of situation?
I don't know, mister. That's real complicated. I'm just an orphan. Did I mention my parents are dead?
Right. I too miss my parents, fellow kid.
Oh.
Okay.
My name's Gunther. Thanks for asking.
So you want to be here because you
my
have
friends
shelter.
call me Kelvin.
I mean, as I was saying, I like shelter. I like gruel. I wish the hours weren't so long.
So basically what you're saying is you need more orphans.
Me?
Well,
okay.
There need to be more orphans here so you don't have to work such long hours.
I guess so. Or less ships.
But less ships, fewer ships means fewer places to shelter.
We can make less ships.
Oh, yeah.
That's easy.
You're a real strange orphan, mister. What was your name?
Oh, it's Gunther.
That's my name too.
No way. How coincidental. Anyway, I sure do miss my parents. I'm just going to go over here and have some gruel. And Glupo walks away and thinks about what he's learned, which is not much other than all their hands hurt.
Good investigating. Nice job.
Is Glupo high?
Meanwhile, back.
He's always high on life.
Meanwhile, back in the captain's quarters, Aquafina, Frank, Cammy, and Kakara are present. I hesitate to use the word investigating.
What are they doing in there?
That is a suggestion of
We
intentionality.
looked for money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just investigated the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
I have
That's
a
right.
plan.
Real nasty in there.
So you know the phrase to smoke somebody out, and you know the phrase there's no smoke without fire. Let's make some fire.
Okay.
I think what we should do is, I mean, we have a, as we discussed before, there is a chamber of, shall we say, explosive gas that Frank
I did that.
kindly provided for us.
How explosive do you think this gas is?
We're going to find out. I think
All right.
Do turtles
here
even
to
produce methane? I should look that up. Hang on, everybody. Stop everything. I'm going to look up whether
All right, you
turtles
look that
fart
up.
methane.
All right, let's just really.
While you're looking that up,
I think every animal produces some
methane.
I
mean,
have something on me that can catch fire.
I've got lots of lamp oil, which I think would be good, and some rope.
I'm just going to point out that you are on. Why am I helping you? You are on a ship. You walked through the main deck, which had a variety of cannons, and in order to use those cannons, there were many kegs of gunpowder on the. Why am I providing this information?
Yes.
So I will just point out there are things that are normally known as explosions, which do not include turtle off gases.
Well, I think the fact that the ship is full of explosives helps us more than it hurts us. But
very, very little about the captain's quarters seems, it mainly screams ostentatious, not potentially expensive.
Yeah, and we, as members of the Thieves Guild, do not like this ostentatiousness. So,
speak for yourself. I'm looking for something shiny right now.
Well, you know, anything that you can find before it melts.
Who are you hoping to smoke out, by the way?
Also, there might be other shiny things that we could get to before. I'm not saying we don't blow up the ship. I'm just saying perhaps we should search a little more for shiny things before we blow it up.
The helpful dungeon master, will remind you that you are technically on what we call a rescue mission.
Well, I've got a plan for that too. So
what does the burning achieve?
So
I know I'm not there.
What's going to happen is,
Mike, I'm not going to stop you.
So my idea is we get our piece of rope because Tony loves rope, and we.
I like it.
We put that across the floor towards the toilet area.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He's telling me about why they're going to blow up the ship, but that's not the part I'm.
No.
I'm curious about what it does.
I'm giving you.
You're getting there. Okay.
I'm giving you flavor.
Gotcha.
So then,
I'm
like,
not sure I like the
this
taste,
adventure
but-
is not lacking for flavor.
Toasted marshmallow.
we have a period of time. Like, we're going to generally cover the room in lamp oil and other accelerants, but we're going to light the fuse. Then we're going to calmly walk out, so that we're not next to the thing when it visibly explodes or goes on fire. And ideally, we walk off the ship, pull the gangplank away,
and leave Glupo in the ship.
He has demonstrated his dexterous abilities to like get in and out of the ship. So not worried.
We
about
should
him.
send Glupo a bird to warn him.
Yes. We should
We could
find
do
like
that.
a seagull that will go down and say, start getting the orphans out.
And at some
Or
point,
at least that one cute
at
one.
some point, James is going to tell me what this solves, what this achieves.
Oh right, yes, that was well. What it solves,
Too many ships.
what it achieves is fire, which in itself is really
James Thompson, excellent pitch man. But wait, there's more.
no. The idea is like once people discover that the ship is on fire and in danger of exploding, they will want to leave the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and thus all the people will come out of the ship.
And
And then Thanos will be, whatever his name is, the Beggar King
Lexi.
Thanos will
Yes.
be on the ship.
Janos Mir. Ideally, maybe he comes out, but we'll cross.
What if
that.
he's in a brig or something and can't get out and they leave him in there?
Yeah, well, let's circle back to that later.
Okay, I get it now. So this is just one of those very overconfident scientists who's like, this experiment may not do anything and it
Mhm.
could hurt people, but I want to do it. And then if something good comes of it, I can say that that's why I did it in the first place.
That
But if
one.
something bad comes of it, then I
That's
could just
the
shrug.
thing. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah,
Now I
yeah.
understand.
I think burning a ship
James
full
just
of
wants to
orphans.
catch things on fire.
Like burning a ship of orphans is kind of like it's been my life stream in Total Party Kill for a long time, and I mean I'm prepared to listen to other plans that involve setting other things on fire.
Well, and now I can be quiet because I'm not there. So,
Yeah.
I'm
And
curious to
technically
see how
we
this
don't
makes its
know
way.
about the orphans.
Yeah,
so
exactly. You can't really send me a bird about the orphans, but if you sent me a bird,
we
saying,
can send
"Hey,
you
we're
a
catching
bird
ship on
saying
fire,"
you should get out.
Well, we've had some hints about the orphans. Somebody did tell us that they
That's
were
true.
likely
Yeah.
using orphans. By the way, good news, everybody. Turtles do, in fact, fart. Jury's still out on the methane. But interestingly, there is a rumor that turtles poop from their mouths, which is apparently false.
Well,
Although
you
certain
know.
species do, in fact, pee through their mouths, and don't think that's not going to come up later.
Did you know that birds
appreciate
don't
that
have
you-
separate holes for urine and feces? That
Yeah,
it all
they
comes
got
out
a-
of
Yeah,
one
it's
hole?
called
cloaca.
a cloaca,
Mhm.
friend.
Yeah.
Okay, see, everybody else knew that except for me, apparently. Why do you
Also-
all know
also
about
just not
bird
reading
All
the
those
Wikipedia
one-hold
website.
birds.
Yeah, they lay eggs through that. That is the when people
It's
talk
the
about
universal hole.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
people talk about efficiency, that's what efficiency gets you.
So
There's
consider
glory
that you're
hole.
the one person here who's shocked by some of the things we're saying, and that should probably answer your question for you.
That's true.
We take
Although
interest in things.
I'm just
that perhaps we
curious
shouldn't.
what Google terms led Mike into that information.
All right, should we divvy up tasks then?
You mean in the arson?
I'm still like, I just want to do a more thorough search for treasure. Treasure's gonna
All right.
melt.
Well, I mean,
So maybe we'll find some other information, but I want
Kakara, give me a
shiny
quick
things.
investigation roll. Feel free to make any rolls that you think are useful.
while I am pouring lamp oil all over this desk.
Where
I
did you get
just-
this lamp oil?
I
It
rolled
was
a
actually-
10.
Part of
You
your
rolled a
pattern.
10.
The lamp oil I actually checked was genuinely in my starter
All
pack
right.
of equipment.
So you rolled a 10. You were poking around, Kakara. You know, there's a lot of fancy things in this this captain's quarters, as previously mentioned. You know, probably the most easily theftable in terms of just not being a chandelier is the fancy silk dressing gown monogrammed with an L, maybe with a little work and stitching. You turn that into a C for Kakara.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
Take it.
Cloaca is what it's for.
I take this shiny robe.
Other things, the other ostentatious furnishings of this room would be a lot harder to move. You know, there's one of those fancy desks that's all gold and has like little like lion feet for it. There's a big fancy painting of a castle behind the desk, fancy waste paper basket, chandelier, which seems very impractical in a ship, and obviously ceiling is kind of low for it anyway, so you're all kind of like ducking around it. You know, the finishings on the door and the
we looked behind the painting, right? Yeah. For the safe. Yeah.
I think we did.
There was one there, wasn't there?
No one did that.
Was somewhere else.
No,
I'm looking behind the painting.
The painting strangely seems affixed to the wall in a way that you can't just slide it to look behind it.
Does it feel?
I asked Frank if he can move it because I feel like Frank might be stronger than me.
Frank says,
"Frank,
okay." And he extends one claw and just slashes from top to bottom of the painting.
Oh, okay. Behind the painting, it seems like the frame is almost like built into the wall. And now that you have sliced the painting open, you can see behind the painting, there is clearly kind of like a button that basically lined up with the castle in the painting. Yeah, seems like some kind of mechanism that would open a secret door.
I push the button.
The painting kind of cranks open just wide enough that you could squeeze in. It looks like there's kind of a shaft with a ladder below that.
Oh, I love a good shaft.
Shut your mouth.
I go down the shaft.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Whew, it's man.
Tony said it.
Did I?
Are you going to come back up and go back down? And come back up?
A couple times. I'll go down and then I'll come back up and let you know you should totally come down this shaft.
All right.
Slide on down this shaft.
You scurry down the ladder in the vertical.
In the where, Tony? Where is it?
It's in like a vertical room.
Damn right.
The kind of room that you might use for descending into, say, a mine or I don't know, something else like that.
Is it a wide room or is it a thin room?
No, it's narrow. It's narrow.
It's a narrow shaft.
It's not. Yeah, it's not much. It's not much wider than the ladder itself. So at the bottom of the ladder, Kakara, there's basically like a hatch that you suspect leads into some kind of concealed room here.
So I do go up the shaft again, let them know what I see, and go down the shaft again, and try to open this hatch.
All right, hold on.
Is it open?
Not that it super matters, but it is. Here's the secret.
There's an open hatch at the end of my shaft.
I'm going in that hatch.
Let's see here. So do you want
vandalism?
You're gonna open the hatch?
Yep.
All right.
I will use a modicum of care in case someone's on the other side of the hatch.
Roll stealth. But just like a little bit. Roll a modicum of stealth.
Yeah, modicum is.
Are you lubricating the hatch?
17 with probably with some of that lamp oil slid down.
Yeah, just put lamp oil on everything. Nothing bad happens from that. All right, you silently kind of pull the hatch up and are listening in, and you can hear someone talking in kind of a strange accented voice. There seems to be a small room beyond. You can smell kind of incense, and you can see the flickering of candlelight, and you hear a strange voice talking to someone or something, and the voice is going like this: "The plan is going perfectly, just as I planned, and I think now is the perfect time to renegotiate what my percentage will be in all this."
The plan is going to plan.
My fleet will launch, and all of Waterdeep will be ours. Will be yours. Will be mine. And I think that, you know, as a recognition of my leadership, my ingenuity, and just all around awesomeness, the Artificers Guild could be compensating me more generously than our current arrangement.
Oh, that sounds like Holtzman.
Is everyone still? They're all still upstairs.
Yeah, we're
yep.
Well, I'm just pouring accelerant on it.
This vertical
lamp oil starts to drip down the shaft.
Yeah, this vertical ladder hole really only accommodates one person at a time.
So I go up and I report what I heard to everyone.
I'm just imagining you whispering this, like, and then he said, and the whole time,
and I'm like,
should
we attack him?
Well, you know what's a good way to attack people?
With fire.
Fire. It's fire. We could light the shaft on fire.
I'm in favor of this plan. I
love it when they do that.
Fire shaft.
Yeah.
You got to get that checked out.
Talk to your doctor if you have fire shaft.
I wish you people had gone to a better medical school.
Can't expect more in Wanker Deep.
Yeah. Just clearly not
Wanker Deep medical.
It's really not that secret of a room if it's labeled secret room.
Yeah.
Silly map makers.
It was behind a painting.
Not so secret.
Well,
once again, a painting of a door that says secret room.
Yes. It's just a painting of the room with the door open at the back.
Okay, so Kakara has told us everything that she heard.
Yes. Yep. It seems like you now have information about a possible occupant of a secret room. You still don't necessarily know anything about where Janos Mir is, and Glupo is possibly being murdered by orphans or befriending them. Definitely one of those.
I think he's becoming their leader. So
Did you see any additional exits out of the shaft by chance?
I'll remind Aquafina, Frank, Cammy, and Kakara, you have not seen Glupo in some time, and technically you don't know about any of the orphans below decks either.
Yeah.
Kakara, you did not. The shaft seemed to be just a vertical one-way thing. There didn't seem to be any. You didn't really get a look into the room beyond the shaft. But,
can I get into that room, or is it just like an eavesdropping shaft?
Oh no, it seemed like this was.
Everybody likes to put in an eavesdropping shaft when they're building a shaft
for their own secret room. Yes, the adventurers will come in here and they will eavesdrop on my evil plans. I will leave through another room.
And there will be a second shaft that leads to a painting with the eyes cut out.
I will say you kind of just got a sense that there was just a tiny little room beyond that, beyond that hatch, and that this seemed to be the only way of accessing that chamber.
So if we went outside and waited for people to leave, we would know who it was that was in there talking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They would have to come through the fire room.
Or we could flush them out with fire. That always helps.
Yeah. I mean, how well is that ladder?
Regretting that I've given you. It's like built into the wall.
Well, we can just pour some oil down it. It's fine.
That's your answer to pretty much every problem that I've presented for the last 2 hours.
I mean, you never know how these things will turn out until you try them. It's just science.
It is almost science.
We can smoke them out. I'm not objective lighting the hatch on
the shaft on fire.
The shaft on fire, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, what about the total gas?
But I think what we should do is light the shaft on fire, and then maybe the total gas will also light. But then if we go on the main deck, we can see who comes
out.
Yes. And we haven't given ourselves away.
That's good.
Okay. So
we redirect our little fire starter.
Do we have to roll to see how much fire we set?
You will
have to roll to see how much gas I produced.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talking, and I really feel like
we need some action.
Let's just light it on fire. Let's light the shaft on fire.
Steve, I've consulted a chart here about turtle gas dissipation.
Okay. And what do I roll for that?
Well, I think unfortunately a lot of the gas is no longer at a concentration at which it's explosively volatile.
Well, I can fix that.
Have you got some more in there, Frank?
I just
gas up that shaft.
Frank, what has Frank consumed in the last 8 hours?
Everything.
Put a small cabbage or two.
I mean, isn't manure like flammable?
I think so.
Frank, that is the most
have a
city
go
thing
down
I've
that
ever
shaft.
heard. Go back to Manhattan. Sort of. Ammonium nitrate can be, but it's more complicated than that.
Haven't you ever heard of like a flaming bag of poop on someone's doorstep?
That
I've
is
heard
not
of it.
usually
is that the bag that's on fire?
Bag.
So are we gonna we're gonna put a flaming bag of poop at the bottom of the shaft?
All right.
The poop down the shaft.
That's a great idea.
Light on fire.
Apparently you have no bag, so
We do have poop though. Frank couldn't quite get it all down the little mini toilet they've got here.
Just light the fire, man.
Or we could just put the lamp oil that we know will light on fire.
Let's pour. I've got 2 things of lamp oil. Let's
All
put
right.
one down the shaft on the ladder, and one around the general sort of entranceway to the thing.
All right, so you're gonna douse the office and the ladder in lamp oil,
and then we're gonna put down a rope, and then we're gonna. So it gives us like that small minute fuse.
Okay.
So we can get out.
If you light the ladder on fire, how are these guys going to get out for us to see them?
I'm assuming there's another exit, probably.
I doubt it.
Well, let's see.
Well, I guess then we foil their plan.
But is there a big not secret door that they use to get in there? Or
well,
seems like a weird design.
I feel we will learn information either way.
We could foil the plan by just killing them.
That's what I mean, if there's like some big secret evil plan.
Well, if this dude kidnapped what's his name, he might have some useful information about that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but we don't. We'll circle back to that.
Frank's not wrong.
I really appreciate that every time anyone makes anything resembling a valid critique of James's "let's set everything on fire" plan, he just says, "Let's circle back to that." So I just encourage. This is not relevant to Dungeons and Dragons, but just as a general James management thing. When James says, "Let's circle back to that," that means that
you would make a hell of a press secretary, James.
Yeah.
That is great.
I will, I'm going to let you do whatever you're going to do in the Dungeons and Dragons game because I feel like I have a little control here. Okay. I will say,
well, he's going to light something on fire anyways. Yeah. We might as well just get it over with.
I will say that
the illusion of control. We can roll if you want.
Well, I think it does not require anything. So let's just make sure that we're all on the same page here. There's 4 of you. At least a certain number of you need to be united around your plan to douse the office and the ladder in lamp oil. You don't have to roll to do that. That seems easy. I think fashioning a wick from a rope is going to require some kind of check. I'm going to say intelligence. Cammy?
I can do that.
And a rope is literally just a big, thick wick.
Yeah.
How much intelligence does that really need?
Also,
I think that the rope has to be like basically appropriately treated so that it will burn quickly,
you have to
but
dip
not too
the
quickly.
Wick.
Yeah.
Dip the wick.
Look, I dipped this one beforehand.
You've been carrying around a wick all day?
It's a pre-dipped wick.
Look, I'm a pyromaniac. What do you think I've got? I've got a bag full of...
What kind of low intelligence score are you covering for here? What did you roll?
Well, I haven't rolled it yet, but let's have a look. I have rolled an 18, and I get plus nothing.
You have fashioned a wick from a rope and some of your now totally used up lamp oil. You think that would buy you several minutes if deployed appropriately.
Okay, so I think
congratulations, you successfully soaked a rope in lamp oil. Good roll.
I'll have you know I did it very well. All right, tie one end of the rope to the top of the ladder. One other end, well, not tied to anything, but
yeah, no, that would not work.
Well, it would work, but
you're creating a slack line instead of a fuse. So,
and I think we should. Well, shall we discuss what our exit strategy is?
Discuss.
He says, as the fumes of the lamp oil.
I light the end and say,
everybody as he's holding a fire
Look,
and a
I can fly off this ship. I'm like,
everybody roll Constitution.
Screw press secretary. You'd make a great Secretary of Defense.
What are we
right?
rolling?
Are we rolling something?
I rolled a 20.
I was just making fun of your bad plan. Yeah, roll Constitution for the fumes
21
overcoming
for
you.
me.
For Constitution? All right, you're fine, Kakara.
I rolled 17.
All right, you're fine, Cammy, somehow.
I rolled a 7.
You're starting to feel kind of lightheaded, Aquafina, from the fumes.
You're
Awesome.
welcome.
Frank, you should have it. You should have advantage on this because you're a turtle.
This is tight.
I don't think I do. I get strength advantage and dex advantage.
I just figured you'd be really good at fumes.
Oh, well,
You live in them all the times.
in that case, I got a 17.
All right, you're fine. But yeah, Aquafina, you're starting to feel kind of dizzy from the small room that you have doused with lamp oil and then sat around and discussed what your actual what step 2 of your, and I use this word loosely, plan is.
Can we open a window?
This is
Aquafina,
a nautical.
I can put a wing around you and get you out of this room.
Okay.
So,
I'll
hang
take
on.
care of you.
Do you only get portholes on the port side of the ship? Do you get
Nope, all
starboard
sides.
holes?
No, that's not
Well,
how
that
boats
makes
work.
no sense.
Well,
True.
Okay,
Starboard holes.
Taken up with boats.
I ignite one end of the fuse, and
All right, hold on. Let's just check this little plane here. Which end?
the far end.
Yeah,
from
there
the
you go.
ladder. You know, just and I think we shall light it and then retire to a safe distance.
Remember that time they
Young
killed
to
Glupo and hundreds of orphans?
Well, we don't know about
All-
the orphans. Did we send a seagull?
many
We
many
need to send a
innocents-
seagull to Glupo. It's
Well,
too late.
that's
I mean,
good.
I've set it on fire now.
It's
but
good you're thinking about this now.
Can we get out?
Many innocent
Yep.
sailors and
Send our
contractors.
seagull.
let's
All
get
right,
out.
so you saunter out of the captain's quarters onto the
Saunter.
main deck
Saunter.
of the
And
Tara's helping me out.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me.
I
Just-
gotcha.
Just swabbing the deck. That's all.
let's get.
and is your goal just to leave?
Yeah, I want to be on
No.
the other side of the gang.
I want to see who comes out of this space.
Yeah,
I will
but we're gonna see
remind
from
you
a
you were
distance.
here to rescue someone.
Well,
And
let's
you are
circle back to that.
Yeah.
Stop saying circle
This
back.
is why I asked what
I'm
the
not
point
going
of all
off the
this
ship.
was.
Your
Cammy
rescue
might.
mission so
I'm
far is
staying.
put
Yeah.
him in more danger than he was originally. You have gone to a building where a hostage is held, set fire to the
We
building.
didn't know a
and
hostage was being
left.
held here.
You know
There's
the
no way to
Janus
know
Mirror
that
is
it's
here.
Like,
Well, we don't know
Cammy
that.
just wouldn't shut up about lighting this thing on fire, so it's like the easiest way to
You
shut
all
her
are
up.
in
is
Frank
let
is
her lights
pretending
up
to
on
swab
fire.
the deck right now.
I'm just, you're all accomplices.
I
I'm just
have-
leaning
I'm
on a
okay with
cannon.
that.
Excuse
All
me.
right. I'm not going to
Because-
argue about how dumb your plans are at this point. You're
Frank
just
is
doing them.
casually pretending to swab the deck
All right,
with the
Frank is on
javelin that he
deck.
keeps on his back.
I am.
I'll just check in with you one by one. Cammy, what are you doing?
I have crossed the gangplank, and I am standing outside the ship.
Okay, just looking back at a ship that's about to burst in fire, real casual.
What I
Like-
want to see the whole thing, you know.
Yeah. All right. Frank, you are pretending to swab the deck, which looks a lot like swabbing the deck. Give me some kind of deception or bluff to make it look convincing. Aquafina, what are you doing?
I'm climbing the rigging so I can
Mm-hmm.
keep an eye on the door that appears to be like
Yep.
across from where the secret room is.
That's
But
great.
I-
you are dizzy,
I am
so you're
able
going to
to,
go
like,
up
jump
somewhere
down.
high.
Yeah, I'm able
Yep.
to jump down. Do I need to do kind of I have pretty good acrobatics.
I'll just assume that you don't need to then.
All right, I'm
What do
climbing.
you want?
it's
Kakara,
okay.
what are you up to?
I am sort of over by the rigging, but I'm leaning against, sort of looking like I'm in charge of things, but not doing anything like managers do.
I'll
So-
point out there. All right, excellent. Give me a bluff or deception check to portray yourself as assistant deck manager.
19.
Excellent. Frank, how did you do?
Frank rolled an 11, but I should point out that I couldn't find a mop to swab the deck with, so I'm just using the javelin I had strapped to my back, and I'm actually carving large gouges in the deck of the ship.
All right. All right.
So maybe a disadvantage should be done
all
here.
right. Yeah, you know what, Frank? Unfortunately, you have caught the attention of whoever the shift master.
Damn
the
it,
shift
Frank.
master Carlisle. You noticed him. He was standing by the gangplank with a clipboard did not seem to care that Cammy departed. He did seem to be kind of actively checking people who were boarding the ship. It's kind of they're more concerned about who gets on the ship than who gets off. And you catch his attention and he kind of stomps over to you. He's dressed like a sailor, but he's got like a slightly fancier vest with like nicer buttons. And he's like, what, who told you to do this?
I'm just swabbing. That's what you do on a deck, right?
That is not a regulation mop, sir.
Oh, can I get a mop?
Report to the quartermaster for a regulation mop. He points at the stairs leading below decks.
Okay. Frank just stands there.
Back over to the gangplank. All right.
Frank continues to stand there.
He has not noticed that you have not done that. Meanwhile, below decks, Glupo, you are rich and orphans. What is up?
So I think Glupo's gonna stand up. Actually, so is this area like cordoned off? Is the mess hall cordoned off from the rest of the place? Meaning that this is a room full of orphans.
Yeah, there's there's maybe a couple overseers and a guard by the door. But yeah, I imagine that beneath the decks of the Fury of Holtzman is like kind of a labyrinth network of weird little chambers and rooms and hallways, and it's all twisty and cramped. And it's not one big open space.
Glupo gets
this room is full of orphans.
Glupo gets this glint in his eye as he pulls out his
now. Oh, wait, hold it.
As he whips out his instrument and strums it.
Oh, yeah.
And he starts to, as is his way, go around.
You're not supposed to strum a flute traditionally, although in past adventures, we learned otherwise.
He goes around to all of the tables as he does, and he starts singing a song about basically a better life, a life where you
Are you
can...
Pied Piper?
Pied piping. Where
Glupo.
you're like in charge of your destiny, and people will no longer tell you what to do. Wait, no, that's not true, because they still will.
You're orphan or oboing? Orphan oboing.
Essentially, I am trying to tell them a story, spin a yarn about having them come with me to join the Thieves Guild.
All right.
Frank hears the strumming and he descends down below decks to see what's going on.
Frank is very susceptible. Glupo, give me a performance check. I will say you have advantage because this is an amazing idea.
Frank would like to help. He's proficient in drums, and he starts wailing away on his shell.
All right.
He doesn't actually need a drum.
I love that. I rolled 23 with that performance check.
Wow. I will say that the orphans are all enraptured, and honestly, some of even the adult overseers with their whips and their big key rings full of keys for their manacles for the orphans seem somewhat enchanted by this idea as well.
Awesome.
Frank got a 15 on his performance check.
Frank, you are technically helping.
I'm helping.
Do some of the orphans start going to Frank's drumming because they're confused?
And so I think Glupo will walk over to the guards that are holding the keys to the manacles, and
they're kind of swaying in tune with your song.
And Glupo kind of, I'm trying to think of how this would work. Oh, I know. He'll look up at them, kind of look in their eyes, and then do one of those head gestures that's like, hey, go do that thing that I know you're already thinking about. And he's basically saying, go unlock those orphans. We've got places to be.
All right. Give me a persuasion check. I'll say you still have advantage due to Frank's help. And
14.
You know, you see the guard, kind of the overseer. He kind of thinks about it for a second, and then he kind of shakes his head no and goes back to swaying. I will point out the orphans at this point, they are manacled to each other, but not to any furniture or anything.
Okay,
well, that's good.
I think then.
So Frank picked up one. He could have a whole chain of them and just carry him out.
He's on a roll,
like a barrel of monkeys.
Just run carrying one, and then the rest.
I think that I think anyone who has ever carried a chain of 50 orphans through a labyrinth ancient ship knows that you get caught real quick.
Yeah, so
yeah, they get hung up on everything.
Yes.
Suddenly the key
Fish hooks.
changes in
caltrops
in the song, and all of the so all of the people are like, all the guards are, like you said, by the front. So yeah, the key changes in the song, and this static builds up in the room, and let's see, I can only cast that at level 1. So
are you going to kill a room full of orphans?
No.
That?
The orphans are all behind Glupo, and
Indeed,
in
they
front are the people.
kind of conga lining. Yeah.
And suddenly a wave of thunder.
All right. You are casting
out.
Thunder Wave, which I will
the loudest spell in D&D.
Pretty much the loudest spell in D&D. Maybe Shatter is louder, but yeah, this will be large portions of the ship, if not the entire ship, will be aware of this. You want to just read the text of Thunder Wave for us there, Micah Sergeant?
For what it's worth, wailing away on a giant turtle shell produces a pretty damn loud noise already. So
yeah.
A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away from you. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage and isn't pushed. In addition, unsecured objects that are completely within the area of effect are automatically pushed 10 feet away by the spell's effects, and the spell emits a thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet.
All right. So, the two overseers are not, they fail. There is a guard who looked a little bit more serious standing by the door, making sure that, somebody doesn't march a parade of orphans out of here. And he has rolled a 15 on his Constitution check, which is pretty good.
Yeah. So that's what, half as much damage?
I believe so.
All right. And I did 13 damage.
All right. Well, he is badly wounded by this. There is all kinds of stuff that goes, flying around this tight enclosed boat area. Now this is a real splinter party, as all kinds of stuff go flying. Somehow Frank is unscathed during this. And yes, up on the deck, Cammy, you are listening, waiting for the sounds of fire, and you hear, not from the back of the ship, but from deep beneath it, basically a boom, as somebody has cast Thunder Wave, a sound you may or may not recognize instinctively. Around this same moment, smoke begins to billow from the captain's quarter, and at this point, the crew on the ship seems very confused as to whether they are under attack or on fire, or in the truth, both. And I think we are now in a situation that we would call, in nautical terms, boat panic, as people are running left and right.
You're the expert.
The shift master Carlisle seems to have lost his authority, in addition to his clipboard, which he has dropped, and people are running everywhere. It is chaos. You have severely wounded the guard from the orphan Glupo. Cammy has set fire to the Fury of Holtzman, possibly setting fire to the section of the boat that contains the prisoner you came here to rescue. But this is the work of heroes. Will you burn Janos Mir to death and then perhaps a watery grave? Will you ever come face to face with Lexi Holtzman? Will you all die, or will you live to be tried for the crimes against humanity that you have now committed? For answers to questions such as these, let's circle back on that next time on Total Party Kill.